has narcissistic disorder. Number one, do you think that's a mental illness, narcissism?
Really know what it means. So I brought a list from the DSM-5 about...
The View has long been a powerhouse in daytime television, known for its heated political debates and outspoken panel of co-hosts. But after years of controversy, legal battles, and plummeting ratings, ABC has been forced to make a drastic decision. Under immense pressure from advertisers, viewers, and legal teams, ABC's CEO Bob Iger has officially pulled the plug on The View, marking the end of an era. The decision comes in the wake of multiple defamation lawsuits, rising backlash against the show's hosts, and a growing public sentiment that the talk show had devolved into nothing more than a platform for unchecked bias and personal attacks. The final nail in The View's coffin was the massive legal battle it found itself entangled in. Over the years, the show has faced countless accusations of spreading misinformation, smearing public figures, and outright defaming guests who didn't align with its political stance. While the network managed to brush off many of these controversies in the past, the sheer weight of lawsuits filed against the show in recent months proved too much to ignore.
I want to also thank my beautiful wife, Melania, First Lady.
And you need to defend yourself all the time, as you may heard.
Prominent figures including Melania Trump, Elon Musk, Joe Rogan, and even former network insiders all came forward with legal action, each claiming they had been falsely portrayed and personally defamed by the show's hosts. Melania Trump, who had been a frequent target of The View's criticism, was among the first to take legal action. For years, the show's panel, particularly Sunny Hostin and Joy Behar, had mocked and ridiculed her, making unfounded claims about her marriage, intelligence, and role as First Lady. After enduring years of relentless attacks, Melania finally decided enough was enough. Her legal team filed a massive defamation lawsuit, accusing The View of deliberately spreading falsehoods to damage her reputation. According to sources close to Melania, she saw this lawsuit as not just a personal battle but a stand against media outlets that believe they can attack conservative women without consequence. While Melania's lawsuit alone was enough to cause concern at ABC, the situation escalated when Elon...
I think she hates him.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Okay, so we can all agree on that. That's a given.
This woman literally had to do no research, came out here and is just...
Elon Musk joined the fight. Musk, who has never been one to back down from a challenge, had repeatedly been targeted by The View's hosts, who accused him of being reckless, irresponsible, and even dangerous. The final straw came when Whoopi Goldberg suggested on air that Musk was unfit to be in charge of companies that impact national security, implying that his decisions at Tesla and SpaceX could put the country at risk. Musk wasted no time in responding, filing his own defamation lawsuit against The View and warning ABC that he was prepared to go all the way to court. Joe Rogan, another major media figure, also launched legal action against The View after being accused of spreading misinformation and being a danger to public discourse. The lawsuit detailed how The View's hosts had made claims about his podcast without evidence, portraying him as someone deliberately misleading the public. Rogan, who is one of the most influential media platforms in the world, used his reach to expose the hypocrisy of The View, highlighting the many times its hosts had themselves spread false or misleading information without facing consequences. His lawsuit added further financial and reputational pressure to ABC, which was already struggling to keep the show afloat. But the final and most unexpected blow came from within ABC itself. Former employees and network insiders began speaking out, revealing that The View had been protected by ABC executives for years despite numerous complaints about journalistic integrity and unethical behavior. Whistleblowers came forward with claims that the show had a history of deliberately pushing narratives without factual support and that hosts were often encouraged to be as inflammatory as possible to boost ratings. This internal revolt shattered any remaining credibility The View had left.
Who is in charge? Because I've been saying it for a while.
Making it impossible for ABC to defend the show any longer. As lawsuits piled up and advertisers began distancing themselves, Bob Iger realized that the network had no choice but to take decisive action. Behind closed doors, emergency meetings were held to discuss possible solutions, but it quickly became clear that The View had become too toxic to salvage. Sponsors were pulling their ads, legal fees were skyrocketing, and public sentiment had turned against the show. In the end, Iger made the call. The View would be canceled, and its hosts would be let go. The news of The View's cancellation sent shockwaves through the media industry. Joy Behar, who had been with the show since its inception, was reportedly blindsided by the decision. Sources claimed that she had been under the impression that ABC would stand by the show no matter what, and when she learned that it was over, she was furious. Behar, who has built her brand on being outspoken and controversial, is now faced with the reality that her time in mainstream television may be coming to an end. Whoopi Goldberg, another longtime host, was equally enraged by the decision. Goldberg had been one of the show's most influential figures, using her platform to push political narratives and criticize public figures she disagreed with. Insiders say that she is considering taking legal action against ABC, believing that she is being unfairly punished for simply expressing her views.
Hey, everybody used to like Trump. Like the show, you ever seen like videos of Trump on The View with Barbara Walters?
However, with the network facing billions in potential legal damages, executives see her as a liability they can no longer afford to keep. Sunny Hostin, who was at the center of many of the lawsuits, has reportedly gone silent in the wake of the cancellation. Once known for her sharp legal analysis, she is now facing the biggest legal challenge of her own career. With defamation lawsuits mounting against her personally, there is speculation that she may need to step away from public life altogether. The cancellation of The View marks the end of an era for ABC, but it also signals a larger shift in the media landscape. For years, talk shows like The View operated under the belief that they could say whatever they wanted without consequence. They pushed narratives, attacked public figures, and engaged in character assassination, all under the guise of political commentary. But now, thanks to legal action from figures like Melania Trump, Elon Musk, and Joe Rogan, that era appears to be coming to an end. The fallout from The View's cancellation will likely have long-lasting effects on the industry. Networks may begin re-evaluating the way they handle political discussions, placing a greater emphasis on factual reporting and accountability. Hosts who have built careers on controversy may find it harder to get away with reckless statements, as the legal precedent set by these lawsuits could change the way defamation laws apply to media personalities.
We're a very supportive environment for women. I mean, I think any guest will tell you that. For personally telling so many lies and committing so many alleged crimes.
Meanwhile, the co-hosts of The View are left scrambling to figure out their next moves. With their primary platform gone, they will have to navigate a media landscape that is far less forgiving than it was when they had the backing of a major network. Some may try to launch their own independent projects, but without ABC's protection, they may find it difficult to rebuild their credibility. As for ABC, the network is now focused on damage control. The View was once a cornerstone of its daytime lineup, and filling the void left by its cancellation will not be easy. There are already rumors that ABC is considering replacing it with a more balanced talk show, one that avoids the kind of blatant partisanship that ultimately led to The View's downfall. One thing is certain: The View's cancellation is a turning point in television history. The show that once dominated daytime TV has been brought down by its own arrogance, and its demise serves as a warning to the media industry as a whole. The days of unchecked political attacks and defamation may finally be over, and the people who made a career out of it are now facing the consequences. The View has officially been silenced, and whether or not its hosts saw it coming, they have no one to blame but themselves.